If you've ever found yourself in a dilemma between two things that you want equally, it seems like, and you just can't figure out which one matters more to you, that's a really good sign that you're in an ego battle. Your ego has set up a dichotomy between two things that really matter to you, and it ends up keeping you stuck, and it ends up undermining your trust in yourself. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 areas where I see this show up a lot, and I'm going to share with you this soft ambition solution that I share with my clients. So just as a little background, we are working with the ego, and the ego is a regulatory body. It is a regulatory function between our impulses, which is also called the id, and the rule follower part of us, which is the superego. So the first area that I want to talk about is in the area of your values. You may have found yourself in a situation where you have 2 things that you want, and they are both important to you. For instance, you really value leisure time, and you also want to make money, so you have leisure time. And that ego keeps you stuck in the middle so that you never really buckle down and take care of the thing that would help you have more leisure time. So the ego is always there, trying to regulate between our impulses and the rules of society. In this case, wanting leisure time is sort of the impulse, and wanting to earn money to set yourself up to have leisure time is the expectations and the societal norm. This came up for me when I was setting up my coaching practice. I have a value around connecting deeply with my clients, and I also have a value around protecting my energy so that I can do more coaching and be there for my clients. So these 2 things seem like they're at odds. On one hand, coaching on video is sort of a typical thing that people do because that's considered very connective. But for me, that's exhausting. So I really wrestled with this for a little bit and finally came around to my truth. And that's the solution I would suggest for you. Coming back around to what is true for you. This is the soft ambition way. Don't fool around with what it should be. Come back to what is true. And what's true for me is that I am somebody who is exhausted by being on Zoom camera. When I decided to set up my practice, I decided to talk to clients by phone. And it turns out that that works great. And it works great for the clients who want to work with me. So an impulse to do what's right for us versus the societal expectation that we won't inconvenience people can really create a stuck place, and our ego is right there in the middle trying to regulate both of those things. The ego makes us think that there's not really an answer, and it keeps us sort of stuck in the middle. Most of the time, we are imagining that we are going to be a big inconvenience to other people. And what we really need to do is come back to what's the truth. What is the truth of what we need for ourselves? What is the truth of how this will impact other people? Usually there's something in between that is based on our truth that will work just as well. If your natural rhythms are out of whack and you don't know what they are, and maybe you're not sleeping the way you want to be sleeping, sometimes we need to peel back the layers and look at what's underneath. Look at what kind of things you're consuming, media or food or drink, that is affecting the thing that isn't working for you. And if you really want to understand it and make it work for you, you have to come back to the truth. There's actually a truth that we can come to in there where we pay attention to when are you most energized? When are you at your best? How do you need to set yourself up so that you have the energy to do what you need to do? And that truth is the thing that will take you outside of that dichotomy and let you make a decision. Look at the truth of what's underneath what the problem is, what your inputs are, so that you can decide how they are affecting you. If you're just ignoring the truth of that, you will always be in this stuck place. The third area where this shows up is in the impact you want to make in the world. The ego sometimes makes us feel bad that we don't want to have a bigger impact. It makes us feel like that's more valuable or important if we want to do something really big and brave. But the truth is that you can have an impact on a smaller group. You can have an impact in a softer way, and that's just as valuable. Again, we want to come back to the truth of what kind of impact you want to make. Is it one-on-one? Do you like being in community? Do you like having deep conversations or group experiences? What is it that your truth is longing for so that you can know what kind of impact you want to make? There's no impact that's inherently right. It really comes down to what works for you. Are you somebody who needs more quiet or activity, more group or one-on-one? Coming into the truth of what you are longing for is the way that you can set yourself free from the dichotomy that your ego is setting up between your impulses and what's expected of you. And this is the beautiful thing about soft ambition, is that it always comes back to the truth of yourself. It is based on getting to know yourself better, knowing what you need in terms of expressing your personal values and having your natural rhythms and making the impact that you want to make. Soft ambition is not inactive. We still want things for ourselves with soft ambition, but we're going about getting them in a way that is sustainable, something that is more easeful, isn't fighting, isn't white knuckling our way through it. So with soft ambition, we are paying attention to what's true for us. We're accepting what is there, the things that we're working with, the things that are true. Sometimes we sort of avoid what's true. And then we're making choices based on that. It gives us a really solid ground to stand on as we sort of walk the path of creating what we want in our lives. To learn a little bit more about soft ambition and learning to trust yourself, you should watch this next video. I share more about these 3 areas of personal values, natural rhythms, and desired impact in that video, and I think you'll enjoy it. I'm Annie Kipp, and thanks for watching. I will see you next time.